Hey you guys, what is going on? I pray all is well. In today's video, I would like to talk about AUDUSD. Now, if you follow me on TradingView, I've already posted a post about AUDUSD and what I'm expecting next. And you can see it right here to my right hand side. It says new monthly lows on AUDUSD. Now what? And it's actually the title of this video as well. May have changed a little bit, but if you follow me, then you know I like to post some videos giving you guys some analysis and some tips and education. And right here is only for my clients, the theory behind TMP reversals. TMP is my personal trading strategy. And this is where I'm talking about what the reversals look like. What time frames do you need to add in when trading a reversal? The structures that you need to plot in order to trade a reversal, and the theory behind reversals when it comes to supply and demand. And so, if you're, on TradingView, you can read some of my posts for free. But if you are a client of mine, these are personal things that I like to actually post in private for only certain eyes to read, only who have the link. But nonetheless, let's get into AUD on the day. Now, um, just as I spoke of it on the post that I talked about yesterday, I actually like to break things down in video as well. And I even have a blog where I have a newsletter where you can read a bunch of my compiled posts that I put up, and they have videos attached to them. And it's going to be one that I'm going to add to my recent blog as well on my website, slfxtrading.com. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into this now, and you guys can click the links below to get all of this information. So on the monthly time frame, and I really want you guys to follow me here, and I want to get this out detail by detail by detail. On my left hand side, I have the monthly time frame on the Australian dollar. On the right hand side, I have the daily time frame on the Australian dollar. When it comes to trading, I believe you have to connect with the pairs that you trade. um for example, what is it that we're trading here? Some people would say, well, we're trading AUD, USD, or the Australian dollar versus the United States dollar. Well, I want us to break that down into more detail. We have to dig deeper. We're not trading anything versus anything. What we're doing is we're trading exchange rates. We're trading a price, a fee in exchange. For example, Australian dollar, US dollar, if you can read it without the candlesticks alone for right now, all this says is there are people who live in the United States who may want to purchase the Australian dollar or purchase something in the Australian dollar. So they need to convert their US currency into the Australian currency at an exchange rate. That's what we trade. There's not anything versus at the moment unless you get political or economical, like fundamentals. Okay, then it's a little bit vice versa there. But for right now, here's what we know. If I look at what price is trading at right now, around 0.7038, and yes, we have the bid and the ask price. All this means is at the moment, if I wanted to purchase something, or if you wanted to purchase something in the Australian dollar, it's going to cost you around 0.7038 or 39 at the moment, whatever the exchange rate will be when you purchase it. That is what we trade. Okay. Now, when we get into further details, when we're reading these price charts, all we're trying to see is, are we going to be the sellers or are we going to be the buyers based on how people are spending their money? Okay. So, for example, here, if we look at the chart alone, what will be a trading decision? And that is what you're going to be basing these charts off of now. So, example for the monthly time frame, if I were to ask you, based on the naked chart, nothing on here, are you the buyer or the seller? You're going to have to do some technical analysis here, some digging around, some putting things on your price charts. Okay. And so, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's do that together. All right. So, I'm going to use my highlighter actually because I want y'all to follow me. One of the things that I see that confuses a lot of traders is highs and lows. Like, what's a high and what's a low? And they're looking at every single fluctuation. Well, sometimes you got to do what's called top-down analysis. Okay. And top-down analysis just basically means you're going to start from one high time frame. You're going to keep dropping down until you get to the time frame that tells you where you want to enter the trades. For me, we're just going to use the monthly time frame and the daily time frame for right now, just those two time frames. Okay. So I see a high peak here, and this is only by the wicks, the highest wick. This is the highest wick here. If I move my mouse down, I'm looking for the lowest wick before price pushed up. And that's his lowest wick right here. Now I'm going to make sure that these also show on my daily time frame as well, and make sure it syncs to my other chart. There we go. So you guys can rock with me here. Come on. She doesn't want to let go. So let's erase that one and let's start over here. I don't know why this one is having a hard time letting go. Okay, that's on the list. That's not fun. But let's go ahead and let's do this one. Okay. So let's see if we can get this one to show on the daily as well. We're going to remove this one and do a new one. Okay. Seems like every time I wanted to go over to the daily, they're having their hard time. So we're just going to keep it on the monthly, and then we'll do a different color then. All right, so let's do it that way. Okay. So I'm going to mark it out on the daily over here as well. There we go. And then we're going to move you back. There we go. Okay, now we're rocking somewhere. I guess it's every time I do an individual, it doesn't want to do right? So let's do the same thing here. We'll just put two different ones. There we go. Okay, so we have a high and a low, right? Market difficulties, okay? So we have a low peak here, and then we have a high peak here. And then we have a bunch of candlesticks that are in between, which is fine. We're trying to see how we're going to make a decision for now. So what this tells us is that between October 26th and also we'll say here between let's say, I think it's my crosshairs that's getting confused here. There we go. Okay, and let's do one more thing here. Chart layouts. Okay, so between October, let's say 26, and then we'll say here at what date was this? We'll say between June, somewhere between October, November. What's going on with this? Let's see what's going on with this, you guys. Because there's something going on with the drawings. I don't want to do intervals. TradingView just updated, and so they're tripping right now. We'll get the crosshair fixed in just a second. Let's recache it here. But it's okay. So I would say this is like, let's see, October, November, December, January, February. So February 2021. And then here as well, we can see that price was in an uptrend. Okay. And now we can see what's been going on since those times that price has been decreasing down. And so now what I am more interested in and interested to see is now how has price gotten to where it is here now. And this is where you as the trader, you have to decipher. You have to not code, but you have to put things on your price charts that support how you want to trade. So for example, if you look at this wick here on this green dot, it was around 0.6963s or 64s. And then if you look here, this wick was around 0.699s, around 70 cents. And so this is called a lower low. And this means that this exchange rate, or let's put it back into technical terms, if I'm in the United States, I here can now buy the Australian dollar or exchange things in the Australian dollar at a cheaper price, around 69.696 cents versus almost 70 cents. And so what this means here as the trader is that I want to be the seller overall. It may not mean right now we're going to sell, but what this means is there is a reversal point. Okay. And so now that there's a reversal point, this is when you're going to say, well, what's the best place to sell from? Obviously, as a trader, we don't sell low. So we would need price to pull back. And that's exactly what price did. She ended up pulling back from the beginning of 2022 up until last month in April. And then she's had a new drop. And we can see that because she was able to stay below the highest peak here around 80 cents. So as a trader, we don't want to sell at 80 cents. We want to sell below 80 cents. And now when we look at the price charts, one of the best areas to have sold from was up here at 0.76604s. Now, if you are a trader and you say, Shaquan, it always seems like I can't see these bigger moves, that's because you need to go up in your time frames. If you say, Shaquan, I got a few pips out of the market, but I would like to have caught more, you need to go up in time frames because price actually moves in bigger waves, contrary to popular beliefs. I love the fact that I teach swing trading. I love the fact that I can teach people how to catch 50, 100, 2, 300 pips if they can hold. And that's the beautiful thing. You may not always hold all of this, but if you can get some of the move, that's important. I was able to actually capitalize off of some of this move, which is very beautiful, and now analyzed it for the whole move, caught some of it, but sometimes that's okay. Those things happen because I was able to catch the bulk of the move going up from here up. So that was a beautiful part as well. And what this also allows us to do, or you to do, is you get to relax through your trading, knowing that you have the money working for you. It's running for you. You don't have to show up every single day to trade the bigger move unless that's something that you really want to do. So now when we come to this chart, look at where we are now. I'm going to use another dot. Okay. So now price has pushed past 0.696s and now it's going down to 0.69s. Like we're almost at 0.69, the even mark. Now the question is, what do you do? We don't sell low, but what I do know is that price could keep declining or it could keep going up. So this is where the analysis from this part is very important, okay? We need to look at the highs and lows in between where price was moving. As you guys can see, price started to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows as she was continuing down, which is why we have this big bearish candle. So if you're a person who says your coin price is doing things differently on every time frame, that's not true. The daily is what helps create the weekly and the monthly information that you look at. They're not doing anything different. It's just that when you drop down in time frames, you don't see the fluctuation on this one big monthly candle, but you do see how price move down, move back up, move down as you drop down to the daily and then lower. So we're not going to go lower for right now because we don't need to, because we can actually see what's going on the daily. So now here is where the analysis for what we could do can come into play. Let's just say price wants to keep going down for the rest of May. How would that look? How would you be able to enter into a trade? Well, this is how we would do it. First of all, you need structure. Okay. Now I use a different type of structure from most people. I use what's called my estimation zones. It is based on supply and demand. I get asked a lot if I do like smart money concepts and all of these things. No, this is my personal trading strategy that I created years ago. Okay. And it's literally just based on lower highs and for me to sell and higher lows for me to buy. Other than that, I'm sitting on my hands. Okay. Like, and what this actually does is it's telling you, hey, you have parameters to where you're not entering trades. You have parameters that say this is when you enter a trade. Okay. And it's literally just based on the trend. And I could take these indicators off because they're not going to support this position. So that's it, like a naked price chart. Now, here's what we know. Recently, what caused price to fall, and I don't know the fundamentals behind this, but unless you look at the dollar index has been pushing up. So AUDUSD has been pushing down. But we were just at 0.72660. I do not want price to touch that number. Because for me, I'm looking for continued sales because last month price was bearish. Why can't price continue bearish now? All right. Now, I'm not going to sell low based on the monthly because this candlestick isn't even closed. So we're only dealing with what price is doing here currently on the daily time frame. Okay. So if price can stay below the last fluctuation of at 0.72660, this can be a good trade to get into. If price can come and touch 0.70859, this is where I, the trader, will be looking to see what candlestick is going to form at this structure. Now, price could push up past this structure. It doesn't mean we're buyers yet if you're going to buy back up the pullbacks. But what this means is that you're the seller as long as price stays below 0.72660. This is another thing I see traders get confused on. They say, well, Shaquan, price push past structure, price push past my zone or my trend line. But does that mean that it is now time to trade opposite? Not all the time. And this is where having a good insight on trend first, price action candlesticks alone first, can really help you make better, probable trading decision. Okay. So if price can come up here and touch, let's say maybe tomorrow is Thursday, Friday, so I don't trade because the market closes at 5. But we'll see how it closes today and tomorrow. But if I can get a really great price action candlestick here on the daily time frame, I'm going to take a sell back down to the low. That's it. Okay. Now, how can you enter this? What time frame can you enter this on? Well, that's going to be simple. It's just going to be either the daily time frame, or if you like to go down the time frames, the 4 hour time frame, or you could set a sell limit order. So let's talk about this really quick. The reason why I'm saying these two time frames, the daily or the 4 hour, depends on your time. For me, the daily time frame says your coin, you only got to show up one time a day. And for right now, I don't have to show up at the end of the day because it's not at my zone. It's not touching. Um, if let's say it does touch today, but it doesn't, I don't like the candlestick. Well, I can come back tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to enter my trade. That's a schedule. That is a trading schedule. Okay. And if that's something you can follow, that'll be great for you within your time zone. Now, if you have a little bit more time and you say, Shaquan, I want to see if I can get a better entry in the 4 hour. Well, once price touches the zone, that means you have a 4 to 8 hour window to enter this trade. Meaning, let's say price gets into the zone and it touches it, but you don't like the candlestick that just formed. It's not telling you to sell. Well, you have another 4 hours to come back to your chart because that next 4 hours may give you the candlestick that says sell. You see how I'm creating that schedule just that quick, right? And so if there's the case, you can sell back down to your lows. All right. And this is something that most traders struggle on, is asking, well, what schedule can I have? And I don't have time. Well, this is understanding your time frames as well and what they're telling you to do. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to think about. And then the sell limit order. A sell limit order just basically says, remember the exchange rates I told you guys price could touch. If you put in a sell limit order, all you're saying is, hey, price or trading view or broker, whatever broker you use, I want to be triggered in automatically at 0.78, 0.70859. And I want you to put me into this trade without me showing up. So your broker is going to automatically put you into the trade once price touches that exchange rate. And then you're going to set the parameters to say, this is where my take profit is. This is where my stop loss goes, because those things are personal to you. And it's set for you. You don't have to do any work. You just sit there, let it get triggered, and let price moves until it hits one of the desired positions that you put in. Okay. So this is how we can look at AUDUSD going forward. And I really pray that this helps you guys. The only time I'm not the seller at this moment is if price passes 0.72660, because that means on the daily time frame we have a reversal, but on the higher time frames that's a retracement or a pullback, because technically AUDUSD is in a downtrend at the moment. Okay, so I pray this helped you guys. And if you are a person who wants to learn how to trade this way, you want more of a simple path, a simple routine, and you want to work with me to learn how to do this, I can literally teach you how to do this in under 6 weeks. Yes, in under 6 weeks. Okay. So if you're a person who wants to work with me personally, 1 hour a week where I give you assignments, I hold you accountable, you become a client of mine, then you can click the links down below to book a free consultation call with me so you can get to know me, see me, hear me, because I don't work with anyone unless we talk. That is very important. And you need to see me because there are too many scammers out here. Okay. I want you to know you're making a transaction with me and not a fake person. Now, if you're also a person who says, Shaquan, I don't need 6 weeks accountability, maybe we can do like coaching where you can still work with me. You can watch videos if you're a video person, and I still teach you how to do this, and you can still talk to me at least twice a week. Then you maybe want to get into my group coaching program. Okay. And so it's a monthly program. We do work together multiple times a week. I teach you the concept through video versus working with me, where I teach to you myself with no other distractions, but it's up to you how you want to work with me. Okay. So links will be below, newsletter will be below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. You guys, please have a safe trading week. And if I don't talk to you before the weekend, enjoy your weekend. Go be blessed.